welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and Patreon subscriber Claire gave me a dealer's choice to play whatever I want, and what I really want to do is play Iwouldliketorespond's Esper tokens list. This is by content creator and Legacy player Marcus Ewald, who first messaged me about this deck that he was enjoying on January 8th. I have the receipts, and you're getting it now. That's how long he's wanted me to play this deck, and he's right. It is entirely my style. We've got Staff of the Storyteller as a core engine. This is a card I was in love with that got the brakes beaten off of it by Orcish Bowmaster entering the format shortly after Staff of the Storyteller did. 1 and a white artifact. When it enters, make a 1/1 flying spirit. Whenever you create one or more tokens, put a story counter on staff, white tap, remove a story counter, draw a card. Basically, the deal here is it's a 3 mana 1/1 flying draw card, but then if you're able to generate tokens in other ways, you can continue to draw cards as the game goes on. This deck has 4 Staff of the Storyteller, and they would charge each other. So the second staff draws 2 cards because it charges itself and charges the first one. Orc Army tokens are tokens. Urza Saga constructs are tokens. Retrofitter Foundry creates all sorts of cool tokens. Tamiyo does make tokens, but they're not creatures. It only counts creature tokens, unfortunately. But it is fun that Tamiyo's in here too. Just another sick draw engine. And this is a grindy, back and forth control deck. You are going to nickel and dime your opponent and eventually kill them with a bunch of 1/1s. We got the best interaction, Plow, Force, Prismatic Ending. Great mana base. Look at all these basic lands. 5 basic lands in here, 22 total lands. Urza Saga involved. This might be the fairest deck I've played on the channel in a very long time. I have seen Marcus playing lists that sideboard into Stoneforge Mystic, but as you'll see, this sideboard does not do that. There is no gas pedal. We're going to work hard for all the games. I pulled this version off of just MTG Goldfish. It's Marcus's most recently posted result. He has a ton of 5-0s and challenge appearances. If you want to look over, I would like to respond MTGO. Just Google search that. It'll all come up. I'm excited to finally get a chance to play this. Let's see if it holds up for me. Going in. Check out the first annual Eternal Team Trios Winter Tournament held at Bifrost Games in New York City, New York. Teams consist of a modern, legacy, and vintage player in this fully proxy-friendly environment. The top-placing 4 teams will draft from the prize pool of Judge Promo, Flooded Strand, Windswept Heath, Wooded Foothills, and Wastelands. Get your team together for March 23rd, 2025, and sign up by emailing nycteamtriostournament@gmail.com. I'm on the draw in round 1 with a basic swamp hand. Unfortunately, all my cards in my hand are white and blue. I'm going to mulligan. All right, I'll keep this one. I'm going to bottom one of the Tamiyos. Lure and Reveal doing a lot of work here. This is the cost of playing on basics. Sometimes you draw them when you don't really want them. Lotus Petal. Uh-oh. At least I have a force. If this gets super dicey. Chrome Mox. What's going under that? Summoner's Pact. Okay, so is this the Necrodominance deck? It must be. Opponent has Besieged the Mirror. I'm not fighting over that. I'm going to fight over what comes out of it. Their hand has to be Pact of Negation to not just be dead here. They do play that card, though. They seem to be in the tank on this Besiege. They came out of the tank. A card's been chosen. Is it Necrodominance? Oh my god, it is. Force Pitching Ponder. Do you have the Pact? Let's see what happens here. They do have the Pact. Okay. Carry on. They get to draw 19 cards, and then we will see if they win or not. They probably will, but going from 1 card here, a lot worse than going from 5. We got a bunch of Spirit Guides in exile. The next step is for them to cast Born Upon a Wind, which they can filter Manamorphose mana through, and then once they Born Upon a Wind, it should be pretty trivial, but I'm not going to concede until they put Tendrils on the stack. We got a sorry first time playing this deck in the chat. That gives me hope. Summoner's Pact. This is going to get another Spirit Guide. It did. 4 mana in the pool now. 16 cards left. Another Pact. There is usually one copy of Wild Cantor in these lists if you need to just filter green into black. Got another Spirit Guide, though. Got 2 red, 3 green. Valakut Awakening. Okay, so they got a dig. This sees up to another 14 cards. I think if you have Manamorphose, you cast it first, so maybe they just don't have Manamorphose. But they are going to look at fully 3/4 of their deck before they can whiff. It looks like they didn't awaken for very much. Like 0? Did they just draw 1 card? Was that a misclick? Or no, they go to the bottom. Okay, no. They don't get discarded. It was not a misclick. They probably went deeper. 11 cards checking the chat log. All right. And now they have Manamorphose. Now they have colors in the pool. Off you go. Born Upon a Wind. And now that unlocks all the other 13 cards in their hand. Ooh, a sick Cabal Ritual. Apparently, Mystery Booster 2 frames are now available on Magic Online. That's fun. 6 cards left in their hand. There we go. They found the line. Okay. So it's all about turn 1. Consign to Memory can be Time Walk. Like you can consign the Necrodominance draw trigger. Or you could consign the Tendrils later in the game. Yeah, all of these, I think these 5 are my best, and then these 4 are fine. And cards like Swords to Plowshares are just coming out. I don't actually know how many lands you can afford to cut. I could probably cut Nurse's Saga. That's not really... It's not going to affect my ability to cast spells. And the game's going to be a lot faster than that. Prismatic Ending and Teferi are both mid-game outs to a Necrodominance that I consign to memory the trigger on. Like, if they pass to me and I can't capitalize on that turn, then they'll just go again in their next turn. These are things that might matter. Soulguide Lantern doesn't matter. Retrofitter is part of my engine, even though I don't think it's going to matter. Staff of the Storyteller, probably way too slow here. All right. I guess I'm doing this. I could just cut a generic non-blue card for Supreme Verdict. Hydroblast does hit Manamorphose. Like, that could actually be relevant interaction. If the entire game is condensed down to just turn 1, then I think I actually do want Hydroblast over any number of staffs and Retrofitter Foundry. This means I have to win with 3 Urza Sagas and 4 Orcish Bowmasters. I'll take that risk. Thoughtseize, no blue mana. I am going to keep, though. Thoughtseize you, force back up, make the game drag into the goop. Spell Pierce is insane against them. I would feel way better if this scrub land was a fetch land or an Underground Sea. But we ball. I'm in. Opponent went to 6, let's make it 5. Born, Necro, Duress, Chrome Mox. I guess I just take the Necro. They only play 4 of those. They're probably going to Duress my Force of Will here. And then we will look at each other for a while. And if I find blue mana, I think I win easily. If I don't find it for a while, they could dig out of this. But they are looking for a 3-outer in their deck. I guess it's a 7-outer because they have Beseech the Mirror. Force is gone. Blue land right off the top. Easy game. Oh, okay. We're going to Spirit Guide Wild Cantor. They just pitched Spirit Guide. All right, the beatdowns are going to begin. Oh, there's Tamiyo. Now the blue mana means the beatdowns don't work anymore. But their hand is Chrome Mox and Born Upon a Wind. They're not going anywhere fast here. Another Brainstorm. Another point of damage. Come on, deck. My goodness, we're free. We did it. I am going to go Underground Sea Tamiyo. And if they beat me this turn, because I tapped out for Tamiyo, they deserve it. But I want to stop these beats and I want to start turning it around. I want to get Planeswalker going. Let's game. Block. Did you think I wouldn't? Lauren revealed, busted. Now we're cooking. Tamiyo does her thing. Brainstorm. I have the land locked up here. I don't even want this swamp. Get rid of swamp and the Tamiyo. Flips this Tamiyo. Plussing this also bricks the Wild Cantor aggression. Get Tundra. The squad is up. And they know about Spell Piercing, Consign to Memory. They don't even know I have another force. Plus Tamiyo. I could see picking up the Thoughtseize there, but I would like to just get this game over. I'm going to bin this Tamiyo. That doesn't add anything to my situation. End step. Are we going to see Born just a cycle? Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to fight over that. There's mana in the pool. 1 counter left on this gemstone mine. Manamorphose. That works. Black, black. Did they find another Necro? Nope. Just black, black pass priority. Time to feast on my clue token. Another force. Plus Tamiyo. I think I have room to ponder now. I just hit a land drop and nothing else. Cool. And ship it. Next turn I draw half my deck and then they can't win anymore. Lotus Petal. They are back up to 7 cards in hand. We may end up in a battle here. Alright, they know about Spell Pierce. I'm going to fetch for basic island before I do anything else. And pierce this. They could Dark Ritual over the top, but I don't mind that. Like if they sack Cantor to Dark Ritual, it's not a big deal. Now they're just going to lose to the packs. A Spirit Guide. Exiled that thing. And another one, so there's 2 of those in exile now. Chromux still in their hand. I think I can win this game by letting Necro resolve and then consigning the triggers. Yeah, I'll do that. It's fine. They have a pack to pay for now that they're not going to be able to do. A trigger, consign. I'll do it with replicate because I have this extra non-blue mana kicking around. I could also draw half my deck and find a Teferi or a Prismatic Ending to clear this Necro. If they somehow ritual their way out of the pact they have to pay for. Okay, cool. Now it's the same thing except I'm on the draw where everything's harder. Yeah, all I can do is cement my deck and hope one of my 6 forces are there with a reasonable game plan afterwards. No force, there is a deafening silence. Unfortunately, this hand just doesn't work. Even if they do, like, mull to 5, take it slow, duress me, try to sculpt a game plan, the duress is going to take deafening silence, and there's no backup plan. I will mulligan this. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Force blue card with a game plan and a soft counter. I'm in. Keep and bottom 1 of the Flooded Strands. We both have 6s. This game, I hope they have exactly 1 pact. Okay, duress can resolve. It's not allowed to take Tamiyo, and it can't take me off Force blue card. They probably just take Spell Pierce here as the cleanest answer. If they take Spell Pierce, I'll play Tamiyo. If they don't take Spell Pierce, I will probably just leave up mana. Cool. Alright, leaving up mana it is. Tundra, go. Another mine. These lands will eventually chew themselves up. Limited action on those. Blue card? Shit. Alright, well, I still can't play this Tamiyo and feel good about it. They did not play a land this time. I'll get the Meticulous Archive. Try to smooth out. Just find a blue card so I can feel good about Tamiyo. Then I'll feel like I'm doing something. Hey, it's Tamiyo. I will take that. Blue to Delta, Tamiyo. The only card in my hand they don't know is Underground Sea. Or they don't actually know that Tamiyo is back. That's a different one. So I have 2 unknowns and 2 knowns. Their deck has a lot of mana. They could outmuscle a Spell Pierce if I give them enough time. Ooh, something's happening. Spirit Guide in exile. Okay. We're on Elvish Spirit Guide beatdown mode. That is fine. You will not find me arguing me with that. My goodness. I am going to eat this clue here. I play Thoughtseize, I play Deafening Silence. There's reasons to do this. Okay. Another blue card. It's also just Lorien revealed next turn, but it does tap me out of Spell Pierce to do it. Chrome Mox. Oh, no exile. Are they just setting up a... Okay. I'm going to pierce this. This might have been bait, but if they sacked a land to do it when they could have tapped this untapped land, that's pretty sick. A Chrome Mox with no imprint is weird. If they had imprinted something, they could have paid for Spell Pierce. Okay. I'll go to my turn. Another force. And for the same reasons as last turn, I'm going to crack this clue. I can still hardcast Force of Negation. This 2/2 is technically something I have to deal with. Like, if nobody plays a card for the rest of the game, they're winning. But I am not actually worried about it. Okay, they've had enough. Cool. Yeah, this deck is just about surviving turn 1, basically, and then the deck is not very good at having a backup plan. It's also an all-in combo deck that is weak to permanent removal, as well as stack interaction. It's a fun deck to exist. I would not recommend it, though. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 2. I have a Spell Pierce for interaction and an Urza's Saga for game plan. I am on that basic land special mono blue open with a bunch of white and black cards in my hand. But I'm not out on it. This does enough that I can keep it. Opponent's on 6 cards. Island Ponder Scoop is my opponent, a personal affront to me. Underground Sea. Not going to Spell Pierce the Ponder. I would have Spell Pierced the Thoughtseize. Oh, okay. Staff of the Storyteller or get Urza's Saga crankin'. I want Urza's Saga crankin'. If they are Reanimator, I want to find my Soul Guide Lantern faster. And I also don't want to tap out of Spell Pierce for Staff if they are any sort of unfair deck. Wasteland, boo. Well, that rules out Doomsday. Means it's very likely they are a Daze deck. Just float my colorless, say goodbye to my Saga. Ponder resolves. Ponder for me. I like those. I'll play Island and Ponder. There's Soul Guide Lantern, another land, and Spell Pierce. I'm going to put the Spell Pierce in my hand, the Soul Guide Lantern on top, and pass. Now I can't get Thoughtseized off of Spell Pierce. And next turn I can go land Soul Guide Lantern with double Pierce protection. They may or may not actually care about Soul Guide Lantern, but even if they're a Murktide deck or a Nethergwaif deck, that card does something. Thoughtseize. How about no? And if they fight over Thoughtseize, that's fine. They didn't fight over Thoughtseize. Tundra, Soul Guide Lantern. I would love if this gets forced. Alright, didn't happen. I think I would like Thoughtseize out of their graveyard. Just thinking about possibility of Murktide, possibility of Snapcaster or Mystic Sanctuary, weighing that against the possibility of Life from the Loam on the Wasteland. They're fetching in the end step. The Sewer. We still don't really know what they are. Kept their card on top. Brainstorm. Still not fighting that. Bowmaster just chomping at the bit here. Let me get it. Okay, now I can represent Bowmaster, or I could shove Teferi with Spell Pierce up. I could also shove Staff of the Storyteller with Bowmaster still available, though it is weak to Daze. I think I'll try pushing on the Staff here. Giggity. Staff's in. Starting to get hooks in. Like, if they are a fair deck, I really like my position with the Staff of the Storyteller. If they are not a fair deck, I still have Spell Pierce and Soul Guide Lantern. And pretty soon, Teferi and Bowmaster will arrive through a Daze. If they Bowmaster me here, I might just draw a card in response. And then I'll play my own Bowmaster next turn. There is a Scrub land in the deck. Draw, and you're in there. And my Bowmaster can clip their Bowmaster. And my Orc army will charge my Staff. Spell Pierce losing a lot of juice as we head into turn 5 of this game. Do they have Kaito? That would be a beating. Okay, we didn't get Kaito'd. Another Bowmaster. Strong. Okay. Pre-combat, or during combat, that would have dealt 1 more damage. I'd love to draw land. Okay, I did draw the land. That means I can try Teferi, who's not very good against double Bowmaster, but he does make sure my Bowmaster resolves. Plus Teferi, and I'm going to pass. What I'm hoping for is they commit to a full-on attack. It's cycling Troll, so this is at least some amount of Reanimator. It could be the Pokemoki next level Dimir pseudo Reanimator tempo deck. but they do have the card Reanimate in their deck somewhere, whether or not they have Archon of Cruelty. Kept a card on top. Please swing with everything. Or even just one Bowmaster attacking is enough. It doesn't have to be everything. Cool. Now all of their Bowmasters are dead, and Teferi goes down to 3, and my staff is charged. Shoot one of these, charge the staff, block the other one with the Orc Army, leave my Bowmaster in play. If their hand right this moment is Reanimate, Entomb, Reanimate, they might be able to win, because I would Soul Guide Lantern them if they try to reanimate an Orcish Bowmaster. Cool. Urza's Saga is here now. Draw with staff. Force of Will. Love to see it. Plus Teferi. I think Teferi just existing here is solid for me. I'm not going to block. I'm not going to try to protect him. He's just one-sided defense grid. I guess I could ponder into another Bowmaster right now, but I'm holding up Hardcast Force, which I really like. Yeah, Teferi's just going to tread water. Playing Barrogoyf. Yeah, I'll just force that. On the old Hardcast, I still have Reanimate covered. If they have a third Bowmaster, it would be annoying, but Saga's about to kick in. Nice. Okay, we're in here. And now Saga has Orc Army under control. I'm just going to attack and pass. Wow, interesting. They either forgot Staff of the Storyteller is an artifact, or they have some sort of trick. Block. 3/3 is bigger than 2/2. Wasteland. We're going to cast a troll here. I guess if they make me use my Soul Guide Lantern right now, the construct would die. If they have a Reanimate, that's something I have to think about. Okay. Or not. I'll draw a card and then cast Ponder, and then be super set up going into my next turn. Another Saga, a Plow, and a Brainstorm. I like every single one of these cards. Probably should have put Brainstorm over Plow, because I can access that if I need it, but I can't access Brainstorm now. I could pop Soul Guide Lantern if I really need the Brainstorm. Trying to imagine what situation I would need Brainstorm in. It was definitely wrong to not put that on top, though. Okay, they're just playing Draw Go with me now. I have the hooks in. This is now my game to dominate. Opponent agrees. Okay, they have at least some amount of graveyard stuff. I'm not going to go overboard. I like Wandering Emperor and Supreme Verdict versus their Fair Juke, and if this is the Pokemoki Next Level Dimir hybrid deck, then this is just the correct sideboard play anyway. I don't think I want to Thoughtseize them. I would love to board out Force of Will. If I lose to Reanimate after boarding out Force of Will, this makes room for one Thoughtseize if I cut all these. Alright, I'm going to try this. I have Grafdigger's Cage, Soul Guide Lantern, and Thoughtseize, plus on the Juke, if they are even dedicated Reanimator. I still have Spell Pierces. We'll see. I'll just hope they juke off the graveyard stuff. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern in the opening hand. Feeling great about boarding out Force of Will right now. Underground Sea. Alright, I'm going to fetch Basic Island and play Soul Guide Lantern. If they have Force of Will plus Entomb Reanimate or Daze Force Reanimate, that was going to be a nut draw anyway, and Soul Guide Lantern's the same as Force of Will in that environment. Have to exile my own Flooded Strand because that's how the card works. Thoughtseize. I expect to lose Bowmaster here, but that'll depend on what's in their hand. Bowmaster's gone. Exile each opponent's graveyard. Okay, they found a workaround. And now I have to hope Urza's Saga can get ahead of this thing before it destroys me. I will not be casting Desponder after all. They played a land that is not Wasteland. That's good news. If they shove Barrogoyf, it's bad news. Didn't do anything. Good news again. Staff of the Storyteller. Not great, but I'm in that Saga game now. I'm going to fetch for basic planes in their upkeep, if nothing else happens. They cycled Troll. I want to do it in their upkeep because I don't want them to be able to play a Wasteland, and if they do have something like Stifle, I wanted to cost them a mana on their turn. I don't expect that card, but gotta respect what I can. Because if I don't fetch and they play Wasteland right now, then at any point where I would fetch, they can waste Saga and I'll never have 2 mana to make a pal with it. No attack, that means they don't have a removal spell. Even something like Dress Down would have been good there.
All right, keep the truck rolling here. Tutor the Retrofitter Foundry. I think that's better than Grafdigger's Cage. And I get the second Saga running, and I get to attack for 4. I think if they had Brazen Borrower, they would have attacked last turn. And if that's not true, it's fine. It is weird that they tutored Undercity Sewers and played a different card. That makes me think they do have something to spend mana on. It was a fetch. They must have tutored Sewers, then just drew Misty for turn, and then decided that's also a Sewers, and prioritized that one. Basic Island's out of here. There's the other Sewer. Dumped a Delta. Lots of lands going away here. They're about to start getting the business, though. I have big ol' Constructs coming your way. Thoughtseize. That is a card I can cast. So I will. Underground Sea, that probably should have been Scrubland in retrospect, because that could cast Wandering Emperor or play and activate Staff. I gotta remind myself this is a blue-white deck, and black is the splash color. Been so Underground Sea pilled for the last year of Legacy, because every deck's blue-black and whatever the other color is the splash. Not the case here. Okay, they do have a Brazen Borrower all of a sudden. Reanimate and Animate Dead. Alright, I'll take your Animate Dead. At least Reanimate costs life. That probably means they will block this turn with my Bowmaster and then reanimate it back again. And if they have Animate Dead, they definitely are full proper Reanimator, and they have the monsters in. Okay, blocked with an Orc Army. I'm fine with that. Deal. Oh, attack. Right back into Saga Gaming. I've missed her as a Saga. It's been a long time since Saga was actually like fast enough to compete. Okay, I'm going to lose my Wandering Emperor this time. Though Staff of the Storyteller is also an artifact, but I think Wandering Emperor is worse for them. Yeah. Okay. Big construct time. I'm going to make a construct, play Staff. And then I'm going to have a large pair of, what are these going to be, 6 6s? 7 7s. Yeah, there'll be 7 7s. Tutor the Grafdigger's Cage. Now that Reanimate in their hand is off, even if they do block with my Bowmaster. I know they can't interact with this Staff of the Storyteller. Had enough. Okay, cool. No Force of Wills, no problem. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 3. I'm going to keep my hand. It's got all my colors, Urza Saga, Force Blue card. What else do you want? Another Force, cool. I'm unlikely to die to combo this turn. I'm extremely exposed to Wasteland this game, though. And there's one now. I'll grab a Tundra off of this. I could grab Meticulous Archive, because I'm not... Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to get Archive. So I don't have any spells to cast anyway. And just more looks at lands is good. There's a land now. We did it. Ponder, keep that. We like Ponders. I have 3 pair. Busted poker hand. Someone's getting shot over this poker hand. Okay, Esper mana revealed. It's not the mirror, because I don't play Wasteland. Baleful Strix. Respect it, not fighting over it. Ponder. I invite them to daze me. Retrofitter, Swords to Plowshare is land. I don't really want Retrofitter in my hand. I want to tutor it. Do I think Plow is important? Do I want any of these cards? I guess I could play Retrofitter right now. Alright. Island, Ponder, Retrofitter. That means the only tutor in my deck is Soul Guide Lantern, and I have 2 Sagas. So if they both reach maturity, one of them will fail to find at the end. I think that's fine, though. It's like I didn't have to tutor for it, already had it. I'm pretty worried about Kaito right now. 2 matchups in a row where Kaito would be devastating to me. Even like 1 or 2 turns from now, Kaito's less of a problem because the constructs can pressure it. To Fairy. Well, have to force that, or else I just don't have force anyway. Force. Here we go. A force is a force, of course, of course. They are up a card on this exchange so far. They've committed 3 cards to this. I've committed 4. We got through it. It's up to Urza Saga to make back all that card advantage I just lost. And I think I should fetch Underground Sea, and I should do it now. Underground Sea versus Scrubland's actually interesting. We've confirmed Wastelands in their deck. If I get taken off a color, I would rather have blue. Oh wait, my Underground Sea's already dead. I'm getting Scrubland. That was easy. Nothing to even think about. Fun. Thoughtseize. Plowing that Baleful Strix is not worth losing my construct this turn. I wonder if they're going to pivot into any kind of Cephalid Breakfast or Reanimator. Is there a gas pedal here, or is this actually Esper midrange? Esper midrange would play Kaito, though. This isn't like an established part of the metagame, it's just stuff that exists. They didn't attack with Strix. My creatures don't fly, but this means they're protecting their own life total on the way back around. Another construct. Tutor Soul Guide Lantern. I'll exile Tameo from their graveyard. I don't know, in case they have Reanimate. What are we even talking about here? Saga. And I've been worried about Kaito for the last 3 minutes. Let's just take Kaito off the map. If they don't have creatures to ninjutsu, they can't ninjutsu. Deal. Bowmaster. I could have drawn a card with Soul Guide Lantern there, but the stats on the construct matter, and they may yet use their graveyard. I hope they Thoughtseize me again. Tameo. Uh-oh. That's a real one. Oh, this attack is crazy. They must have a removal spell. I think they're supposed to cast that removal spell first, though. Because now you're committed to the attack. I guess what are you worried about? You know, my hand is 1 random card. Can't be dazed, can't force. It's probably okay. Ooh. That one's good, but not until next turn. This Tameo is going to start beating the crap out of me, though. And I'm out of tutors for Saga. Come on. Chill. Well, I was out of tutors anyway. I lose a 4-4. But there was not a second wave coming. Tameo's coming in as she should. Clue. Okay, land's pretty good here. That lets me retrofitter and staff. They'll probably block with their orc army here, but if they don't, I'll make a servo. Ooh, they didn't block. Cool. Tundra, already exposed to Wasteland. Servo. And F6. They went to 10. Bowmaster still can't really attack. I will block Tameo if she attacks, and it's not just memeing. That is actually, I think, correct. Because of Kaito. Block, block. They have a second Bowmaster, they just get to win this combat for free, but that could have happened anyway. They could do that any sequence they want. It's a really good Swords to Plowshares. Now my board sucks. And they've got a functional draw engine, I don't. Tameo flips, gross. Well, now my tokens don't matter, and I might as well turn them into cards. So Orcish Bowmaster, probably one of my best draws. Just some removal spell. Could be Bowmaster, Plow, Prismatic Ending. That's not one of them. Alright, I'll draw a card. I accept. Come on! Okay, the flooding out is happening now. It's real. And I am under serious Tameo pressure. Okay, they're attacking me. I will make a servo. This is basically a wash all around. Because my servo can't become a Thopter and then become a construct fast enough to pressure Tameo. And if I draw a card next turn with my Staff of the Storyteller, then that Orc Army would be too big to trade a 1/1/4. Murktide Regent has arrived. Okay. Officially scary time. Ponder. Well, I'll ponder first. That sees more cards. If I find a removal spell, 3 more lands. Good news, everyone. Shuffle that. And another land. Sometimes you just see 65 lands in a row. Staff of the Storyteller. Lorien Revealed. That's like a land, except worse. Because it's not even a land, and if I cast it, I take 1,000,000. Okay. I have enough lands now that if I come up with Brainstorm, I can afford to have a fetch. Okay, I'm gonna sack Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. And now I'm just spiraling out and dying. Okay. Did it. Yeah, I never even looked at Orcish Bowmaster. 26 cards into my deck plus Ponder Shuffle. So I've seen about half my deck with out seeing a single Orcish Bowmaster, and they had one that dominated the game. That's what it was really about. I think if I could pick that off at an earlier point, it would have been good. Right, Force of Will's coming out here. I just want to play fair and to the board against this opponent. Emperor, Verdict, Thoughtseize. I am a deck that can recoup the loss of Force of Will pretty easily, but I would rather just not lose it in the first place, I think. Yeah, I'm doing this. Got a hand with basic lands and a bunch of stuff to do. I'll keep. And I'll get started on Ponder. I will need lands eventually. Wow, Staff and Urza's Saga. I want the Saga last here. Yeah, I'm going to put Brainstorm in my hand now. And pass. This way they can't Thoughtseize Staff the Storyteller. They'll have to beat it on the stack. They might be a Daze deck, but we just played a really long game where we never saw a Daze. Doesn't mean they don't have them. Might have shuffled them away at some point. Might have just won the game with Daze still in their hand. Hard to be sure, but I'm going to shove this powerful card. And we're in. They fetched Basic Swamp in the end step, then didn't do anything with it. Baleful Strix. This is the most honest gaming imaginable. Baleful Strix versus Staff of the Storyteller is the legacy world I want to live in. I'm going to attack with a Spirit before I do anything else. Saga. I'm going to play Teferi. Just curving out here. Let's party. Plus Teferi. I'm not going to bounce a Baleful Strix. Wasteland, that's good. That card's also good. I have the Plow for it, which is important because I do need that here. I really need a land. I got a lot of looks at one here, but I do really need that land to show up. Okay, Plow the Bowmaster before I start drawing other cards. And I could bounce the Orc Army, see what happens. Or I could Brainstorm, see what happens. I'm going to bounce Orc Army first, because if I hit the land, I could still draw a third card this turn for Tamiyo. Alright, no love. Brainstorm. Son of a biscuit. Okay, I will put back... I'm losing Teferi here, but he was good for a card and a guaranteed resolve of a spell. I don't think I'm going to have room for Spell Pierce for a very long time. Do I want to Thoughtseize their hand? Right, I'm going to put back Spell Pierce and Tamiyo, and I'm not going to shuffle in my upkeep. I'll wait until my main phase after I draw the Tamiyo to do the shuffle. Teferi's dead. Your Teferi is not dead. They could bounce their own Strix here for playing the super long game. Just plus Teferi, that's reasonable. Okay. Island Cycle. I could just go into Planeswalker mode right now. Just play Tamiyo and cast Brainstorm without bothering to Thoughtseize them in between. Okay, Underground Sea. I'm going to go for this. Right now, while they're tapped out of Plow and stuff, they would have to force one of these things. They could Prismatic Ending on their turn. Found a land, another Staff. Put back Under and Staff. Okay, we'll see where this goes from here. It will depend on what their follow-ups are. If they have something like Kaito where they get Bowmasters going, I'm in trouble. If we do just sort of cast spells to the board for the next several turns, I like my spot. Plus Teferi first. No additional cards come in this turn. Not from that anyway. Another Strix. Tamiyo versus Strix. The classic Modern Horizons 3 versus Plane Chase release. Supplemental product. Face off we all came for. Okay, Brazen Borrower does reset Tamiyo temporarily. Not for long, though. Thoughtseize you. Harbinger you can have. Barrogoyf you probably cannot have. No, I have Plow in my hand. Yeah, it's Brainstorm that goes here. Take Brainstorm. And then... I wish I could fetch a Swamp here, but I can't. I'll get Tundra. Play Tamiyo. Brainstorm. Get Tamiyo flipped. Put back Spell Pierce and the Re-Tamiyo. Put back Spell Pierce and Plow. I'll put back Plow. I'm going to end up drawing all these cards anyway because of Staff. Okay, we're back where we started. Except they can start bouncing their own Strixes as draw engines if they want to do that. They could take me off black by playing their Harbinger, they could Wasteland me, or they could draw another damn Brainstorm immediately. This is cheating. Thoughtseize bug. There's Wasteland. Probably want the Underground Sea. That's the unique color that I have. Found another of their own... Or no, this is not another. This is Tamiyo the first. I'm the one with several Tamiyos. And Barrogoyf. Okay, here they are. one card left in hand. We don't know what it is. There's a Harbinger of the Seas somewhere between their hand and top 2 cards of the deck. Remember to plus Teferi at the last possible second. We've all been there. I think Teferi is my most forgotten Planeswalker in my Magic career. Okay. I think I'm going to play my own Teferi, bounce their Tamiyo, and then plow their Barrowgoyf. My Teferi. Bounce your Tamiyo. Get that out of here. Hit my land drop. Life is good. Plus this Tamiyo. Plow Barrowgoyf. And we're back to sitting on our fingers. I'm going to leave this Polluted Delta up to grab Swamp in case they do still have this Harbinger and decide it's something they want to do. Ponder. This Ponder could shuffle away the Harbinger. That's not very good. I don't want to fully assume my opponent just doesn't have this card, but it is not very good. They didn't shuffle the Ponder, though. That card's very good. That gets to clear Teferi. Free and easy. I do have Plows in my graveyard and a Tamiyo in play. And a Mystic Sanctuary I can... Or not Mystic Sanctuary. Mystical Archive that I can fetch. Oh, is this Murktide Regent too? That was a solid sequence of cantrips. That's why cantrips are good. Because the bad cards become good cards. I'm going to click away that. Harbinger at this point. Meticulous Archive. Swords to Plowshares. That was a good find. Okay. I have to plow Murktide. Or I'll plow Bowmaster and then plow Murktide. They both have to go. Just picking orders for these. Plow Murktide. Play Tamiyo. Play Staff of the Storyteller. This will charge both staves. They can bounce the token as an easy removal. This Teferi's just been waiting his whole life to have a target. Face up, things I can see. Tamiyo will survive the turn, though. Token's bounced. Tamiyo's back. I also have double Staff of the Storyteller. Even if Tamiyo dies here, it's not the end of the world. I can quickly get another one. Block the Orc Army. This Tamiyo goes to 1. Ponder. I think they're supposed to do that pre-combat. If they find removal for this Tamiyo, then they can kill this one in combat. Then I have basically nothing going on. The Ponder flips their Tamiyo. All of this could have happened pre-combat. That Ponder did shuffle. Finally got rid of the Harbinger of the Seas. Yeah, they tapped 3 mana, then untapped it. I wonder what that all means. Did they try to cast something that they can't cast with the mana that they have? Plus Tamiyo. And I think I should attack with Tamiyo. I'll attack Teferi, just make them think about it. They can't Brazen Borrower here, they don't have the mana. They have not used this Wasteland yet, which I find interesting. And if they had wasted me in combat, would have been a pretty big punish. Alright, I'm going to activate Staff, see if I can flush out a Bowmaster. I drew my own Bowmaster. That's not what I meant by flush out a Bowmaster, but here's one from me. Kill one of these Strixes. And I am not going to activate a Staff and flip the other Tamiyo. That's not something I need to do here. Starting to kind of grind it back here. Bouncing my Bowmaster. I wonder if they're going to Thoughtseize it now. Whoopsie. I accidentally had 2 of them. That was a good sequence, though. Oh, took the Spell Pierce. Teferi's in play, but I guess they assume Teferi's going to die in a minute. Could have Thoughtseized twice this turn. Alright, I don't have the Swamp available. This does solve their problem. Except, like, not even really, because I can minus my Tamiyo, pick up Swords to Plowshares, and be done with that. Oh, I forgot to use my Staff, so have to eat my Clue instead. It's fine. I'll draw a card one way or another. Okay, Harbinger has chilled for a long time. Tamiyo, pick up Plow. Sucks to delete a Tamiyo, but I've got another one. More where that came from. Plow your Harbinger. After all that work, I suddenly have to care about it. Annoying. Bowmaster. Kill Teferi, and we're free. We're out. And I'm going to attack with Tamiyo. And they're going to block with Strix. And then I'm going to draw some cards in combat. All right, take me off black now. Attack with Tamiyo. And I'll attack Tamiyo with Orc Army. That actually does have power. I do still have Scrubland and Basic Swamp in my deck somewhere. There's the Tamiyo block. Draw my cards, flip her. Found access to black again right there. And a Saga, let's go. Plus Tamiyo and play Urza Saga. And I'm going to play Retro Foundry too. It's here. Might as well deploy it. Okay. Their Tamiyo took some damage. This Brazen Borrower is still floating around. They just played land number 5. They can't ultimate Tamiyo with Bowmaster in play, or they just take a bunch of damage. Once again, they tapped and untapped 3 mana. Do they have a Teferi? Do they have a Barrogoyf? What are we fighting over here? Second Harbinger. Okay. That kills my Saga. I'm going to have to use Tamiyo to clear that again. Unless I just draw Swamp and can ignore it. Supreme Verdict. Fascinating. Okay, buy back Swords to Plowshares. Plow, Harbinger of the Seas. Flooded Strand. Fetch Scrub. Big Scrubbers. Orcish Bowmaster. Kill Baleful Strix. And they've had enough. That was sick. Just squeeze them into submission. They just conceded at 32 life. Okay. The Planeswalkers are pretty serious. But we both have both of them, Tamiyo and Teferi. I don't want to bring in Pithing Needle to answer a Planeswalker that's also in my deck. The Spell Pierce is reasonable against Teferi. I have 2 Prismatic Endings, though you wouldn't know from any match that I've played yet in this league. I think this is still fine. This setup still works for me. Just going back in. Opening hand rules. I'm going to keep it. Bowmaster, we've established one of the most important cards in this matchup. I have access to basic Swamp and Island. I can't access the plains with what I'm showing. Okay, I'm going to just get basic Island and play Tamiyo. Just jockeying over these value creatures is so satisfying. They have shown me Thoughtseize. If they Thoughtseize me and take my Lorien Revealed, that's a thing they could do. Swords to Plowshares, fine. Fully expect to be interacted with. Okay, there is another colored source. Tamiyo, she's in. I have an answer to it. I'm not going to play out Bowmaster because the second Bowmaster is usually better than the first one. And if they brainstorm in response here, that's a great spot to hit them with a Bowmaster. We've just played basically all the same cards this game so far, and I'm having a delight doing it. Kept their card on top, scary. Tamiyo, another one. Big Barrow. I don't like that guy. I will drop out a Bowmaster here because I am starting to fall behind. Let's put something on the board. I do have a second one. Urza Saga. Conflicting. I will play it though. Soul Guide Lantern. If I exile my Prismatic Ending, the Barrogoyf does get smaller. But I use my graveyard. So do they. I'll take their plow. With Tamiyo face up and Murktide Region having been spotted in their deck, I think this is how I want to do this. Wasteland, good one. Both creatures attacking. I am going to jump with my Orc Army. They can generate clues, but it's not free to use them because Bowmaster's doing stuff. Swords to Plowshares. I like that one a lot. I am not going to attack. I'm just playing super cautious here. I'm going to plow Barrogoyf in their upkeep. No soft counter is going to work on this. If they Force of Will, it's going to cost their whole hand. If they try to dig for an answer, my Bowmasters punish that. Oh. This can actually kill Tamiyo if it works. If they have a removal spell, I'm in trouble. Otherwise, Tamiyo will take 3 total off this exchange. They could eat the clue in response to the second 2 pings. And then I just ping Tamiyo again in response to that clue, drawing a card. That Ponder shuffled, that's good news. Okay, they're drawing a card. And now active player, non-active player matters. If this was on my turn, the Bowmaster triggers would happen, or it would stack first, and then Tamiyo would resolve first, and she'd be safe. But because it's their turn, the Tamiyo will die. Some of my triggers fizzle, but I've done what they need to do already. That was a really good turn for me. I'm going to go for my Meticulous Archive. I will take this land. Just shoving Lorien Revealed here feels pretty safe. I'm going to attack first. Give them a wide open swing to try to blow me out with a Bowmaster of their own. And if it doesn't happen, then I'm confident in Lorien Revealed. Okay, it's just a plow. That's a deal. Opponent takes 4. Still can't access basic planes with what I'm showing, unfortunately. And big Lorien, the reload. Wow, a Dazed Revealed deep into game 3. All right, yeah, that was dirty. I did not think they had that card, I'm going to be honest. Undercity Sewers is back. The value days. Cantrips are dangerous for them. Removal spells are insane. Retrofitter, let's go. I'm just going to bash. Nothing to it but to do it from here. Retrofitter messed up on a board like this one. Fetching down to 14. Every life point matters. 1/1s are going to be the name of the game here. Necessary Ponder into Bowmaster. Gotta do what you gotta do. Pingya did not shuffle the Ponder. By now, Orc Army being 4/4 is worth so much. Even if they do Bowmaster my Bowmaster, I have a enormous creature. A Prismatic Ending. That plays. Fair enough. And do they have to Fairy to finish the sweep? Brainstorm. I am actually going to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern in response, because if I spike a Bowmaster, it's so gross. Alright. You can Brainstorm. Go ahead. That does unlock Murktide Regent as a card they can deploy, but I think that was worth the swing. Tamiyo. Post-Brainstorm Tamiyo. Still a Tamiyo, though. Making servos. Thoughtseize against a Hellbound opponent. Just what I wanted. In for 5. I suspect they'll block the 1/1. Go to 8. They're also at 4 minutes on their clock to my 8. And nobody's been playing slow or took a long AFK break or anything. This is actually just insane back and forth magic. If you're going to play a deck like this in paper, you have to play fast, and you have to be willing to nudge your opponent to play fast if they're taking their sweet time. I can make a 4/4 here. All right, Murktide Regent confirmed. Is an 8/8. Okay, I don't think I'm going to make a 4/4 here. I'm going to make a servo, and then I'm going to make a 1/1. And I can chump block Murktide and flip that 1/1 into a construct in a future turn. Sack one of these servos into a Thopter. And looking for some juice now. A removal spell's good. Polluted Delta's not that good. I will still play the land out, though. And I guess here I'm just going to pass and hope Retrofitter can outmaneuver a Murktide. Another Brainstorm. This flips Tamiyo. Didn't even go to combat first. Didn't want that clue. Don't need it. Right, my creatures are wusses until next turn. Ponder. Did not shuffle Ponder. I don't want to see Prismatic Ending out of them. I would not enjoy Teferi either, but Prismatic Ending's way worse. Baleful Strix. Sure. That one's annoying too. A lot of annoying stuff going on here. Okay, end of turn, I'm going to make another Servo and another Thopter. There's no reason to make a construct yet, but there's multiple reasons to have random dingus flyers around. Okay, for the first time in 800 turns, there are actually cards in their hand to Thoughtseize. Brainstorm in the response. Yep. Harbinger of the Seas, Polluted Delta in the hand. And all I can do is pass. Waste time, tread water. Tamiyo's really good. But Swords to Plowshares doesn't really matter here. Orcish Bowmaster always matters. It doesn't actually kill anything on this board, though. They'll probably just go face. Okay. They are forcing the action on this servo. I will turn it into a Thopter. That's fine, and you don't get an Orc Army now. I think that should have gone face. I was likely to do that anyway. Okay, played out a land. They are now also Hellbent. Every draw is live. We got a GG in the chat. Did they just think they don't have time to play anymore? Okay, all right. Must not think they can do it in 90 seconds. These were really good games, though. On to the next one. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round 4. I'm going to keep, because there is Island and Ponder in this hand, and those are the rules. Opponent said they're a big fan and I should enjoy their brew if I can. I can't wait to see this brew. Shout out Momo321. Everyone say hi to Momo. Okay, well, Momo mulled to 5. I am actually just going to fetch Underground Sea and cast Ponder. If they're going to tell me they're on a brew and then mull to 5, I am going to pretend this is not a Wasteland deck and that I need to find something to do quickly. Lorien Prismatic Ending Saga don't solve any of the problems. That's literally all cards that are already in my hand. If we replace Lorien Revealed with a land, which it is. Except worse. A mountain. Uh-oh. Would someone do this to me? Would they say, check out my brew, and that's just be on some Blood Moon deck? Right, Orcish Bowmaster represented. I am in big trouble if they are a Blood Moon deck, though. I consciously decided not to play around land hate. Rite of Flame. Uh-oh. Ancient Tomb. Is this like Sneak Stompy? I have enough mana right now to play and activate Sneak Attack, a play that I am not prepared to deal with at all. The One Ring. Well, I'll get my first point on them in response to this, though this big dope is going to show up. Are we just Red Stompy with Rite of Flame to accelerate? What's going on? I should probably start respecting Blood Moon. Okay, they're drawing a card. I'll deal one to my Orc army. Between the One Ring, Ancient Tomb, and Orcish Bowmaster, I hope to be able to do enough damage to this opponent. And Saga stuff's going to start happening in the very near future. I can fetch Basic Island if Blood Moon comes my way. Ooh, Valakut Stoneforge. That is Valakut Awakening on the front. Okay. Is this like some sort of Ruby Storm adjacent something or other? I can't respect Blood Moon here. I just can't. I'm a 3-color deck, and I have 2 colorless lands in play and in my hand. Okay, I am going to go for max damage here rather than for selecting. Retrofitter, Saga, Soul Guide Lantern, exile your Rite of Flame. Actual value off that feels good. And then an attack for 7. Okay, if they need this One Ring, or this Ancient Tomb, or if flipping cards around like with Valakut Awakening are part of the plan, this is all good news to me. One Ring in the end step puts you to 7. One Ring trigger will put you to 5. Cycling Oliphant. Okay, sick. I'm excited now. Basic Mountain Tutored. They're at 5. If they tap the One Ring, Ancient Tomb doesn't work anymore, and vice versa. But there's going to be some sort of explosive pivot in this deck. I can feel it. Okay, there's the ring, which means Ancient Tomb isn't going to play anymore. And out on your own terms like a boss. Okay. Force of Negation coming in. Consigned to Memory, and the One Ring is clearly in the deck. Hitting Needle. I don't really know what to expect or what to plan for here. I could pretend this deck doesn't have creatures and it's some sort of Red Storm deck built around the One Ring. But then I look like a fool if they just play Goblin Rabblemaster Pyroglyph next turn. I don't actually know how to build a plan for this deck based on what I've seen. I'm pretty sure Soul Guide Lantern, though, if they are a Past in Flames deck, we saw Rite of Flame. Soul Guide Lantern might matter. It probably matters less than Force of Negation and Thoughtseize. Pithing Needle stays in the maybe pile. Staff of the Storyteller might be slow. Get a Consign in. If they do have a Blood Moon pivot, I'm going to go -1 Saga and give myself Pithing Needle. And something like the Wandering Emperor is something I can leave up mana and deploy at instant speed while also respecting if they just have Pyroglyph and Fury in their deck. Do I want to do that? Cut another staff to bring in a Wandering Emperor? Okay, I'll try this. If they didn't say in the chat, good luck and enjoy my brew, I would just sideboard like their Red Stompy and think that they were just playing Rite of Flames to accelerate a little bit. But right now I don't know what to believe. Hydro Blast should be in my deck, probably. Almost certainly. Uh-oh. Don't start. Probably better than Needle, and Katatamio could be slow. Alright. Almost forgot that they're mono red. I was just thinking about the artifact that they played. Did those make it in? Nope. Fudge. It's just half a second too slow clicking. Well, my hand is 4 forces. I'm going to keep. I need to come up with some blue mana to cast this Ponder. But I'm unlikely to lose this turn. Rite of Flame. Empty the Warrens for 6. Concede. Trinisphere. No way. Force of Negation, exiling Force of Will on that one. That was a 3 for 2. They spent 2 Rite of Flames to get that on the stack, and then I answered it for 2 cards. Ancient Tomb, Sneak Attack. They are a sneak attack. Look at this. I'm going to force pitching Consign to Memory. I'm giving up on Consign being a card. Blue Source? Blue Source? Uh-oh. Still a force in the bank. And now we're just going to play Idiot Magic for a while. Alright, unlocked. No longer an idiot. Basic Island, Ponder, Thoughtseize, and some lands. I like all of this. Don't shuffle. Thoughtseize, your 2-card hand. What are you working with over there? We got the Bosch Crusher of Dreams. I hope so, honestly. I'm going to take Spirit Guide. You can have Emrakul. Anything that would put Emrakul into play would be worth a fight from me. And Spirit Guide could cast things that I'm not quite ready to fight. That's how I'm thinking about that. I'm just going to plus Teferi. There's a land on top of my deck right now. And there might be something worth bouncing next turn, like a Blood Moon or Trinisphere in play. Teferi is here. I'm going to bounce target nothing. Tameo, let's go. We love you. And pass. I could Brainstorm just to flip her, but that's my blue card. Found mana number 4. I've got a Meticulous Archive. Ponder. Good news. Plus Teferi. Attack with Tameo. Ponder. Pithing Needle Consign to Memory. I'll take this Pithing Needle now. And sack this Clue, which flips Tameo. Plus Tameo. Pithing Needle named Sneak Attack. I have clean answers to the One Ring in my hand. I don't have clean answers to a Sneak Attack. Well, I could force either one, but I just don't want to. And Consign is smooth on the ring next turn if I get to untap. Ancient Tomb, that is 6 mana. They are slightly better than 1/3 of the way to their Emrakul. And I'm just plussing Tameo. Straight to the roof. The One Ring. I don't even need to replicate this because I have Teferi in play. Bowmaster, nice. Plus Teferi, plus Tameo. Pass with Force in hand, and now a threat in play and ready to draw half my deck. They've had enough. On to the final trophy round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in my final trophy round. I'm going to keep my hand. It has all the Saga tutors in it, but no Saga, so that's probably okay. But Tameo into Staff of the Storyteller is just a nice start. Opponent on the mull to 6. I believe it is correct to start on Tameo, though it would beat a lot of decks to just play Soul Guide Lantern on turn 1 here. Like, if I'm playing to win, I play Tameo. If I'm playing not to lose, I play Soul Guide Lantern. Oh god, here we go. Okay. They pitched Goblin Lackey here. So opponent's on some brew. Okay, sweet. Aether Drift just became legal at the time I am recording this. Other goblins you control have haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin. That creature attacks if able. And there is a speed thing here. And at max speed, they're goblins. You get to tap for a bunch of mana. Okay. I'm glad I started on Tameo and not on Soul Guide Lantern. All right, second Tameo. Basic Plains. Staff of the Storyteller. Do I think the Clue is worth more than the block? I do. I'm in a spot right now where I'm recorded so far ahead that these cards are exciting right now. The speed mechanic, it's literally the first time I've ever seen it in play. By the time this comes up, it'll be 3 weeks from now. Rabble Master. Okay, opponent is rabbling. Who's up rabbling the master? Now, do I trade with one of the little goblins, or do I chump block the Rabble Master that's about to hit for 6? I think I'm going to block the Rabble Master that's going to hit for 6. Yoinks. Opponent's speed becomes 2. I don't think I have any outs to this situation in the main deck. I'll draw with Staff of the Storyteller, try to figure it out. That's not it. Okay, you win. Yeah, that was nice. The red Stompy decks have becoming more and more 4-drop and value engine focused and less 2/2 haste creature that generates idiots and attacks you really hard focused. And they got me good with that situation. I would have rather played against like Trinisphere into the One Ring than what just happened to me. Thoughtseize is pretty bad after turn 1, but it is good on turn 1. Force of Will's great. Teferi's pretty bad here. Hydroblast, Swords to Plowshares are my best cards. This might be a spot where I board out Urza Saga. It is part of my endgame, but also really bad against Blood Moon, which my opponent's deck clearly supports if they want to use it. Okay, here we go. Now I know what I'm up against, and I can sculpt or keep hands that are better. Yeah, this is the sauce. I'll keep it. I'm just going to play Flooded Strand and pass. Plow and Ending are good. Staff is good. A turn 1 Blood Moon would put me in the position of having to decide whether I want access to white or blue for the game moving forward, and I think I would have to pick white. Rabblemaster resolves. Fetch basic planes. Delete this. Okay, these play patterns are familiar to me. I could ponder and exile their Chrome Mox. I'm going to ponder and then decide if I want to fight over this Chrome Mox. Okay, Force of Will in the hand gives me some comfort. This could put them in the garbage if they don't have another red source. It's a 2-for-1 either way. And I could force their next play, then play Staff. Goblin Pile Driver, I'm not fighting over that. That used to be the scariest card in this deck, if you young children can believe that. Okay, Staff of the Storyteller, and pass. 4 mana, I hope they play the One Ring. Ringleader. That does have the word ring in it, that kind of qualifies. I'm going to draw a card with Staff off of Scrubland, and then decide what I'm going to do here. I'll probably just pitch Spell Pierce to force. And they got 1 card left over there. They'll attack for 1. I will not interact. Come on, some good card. Brainstorm, make my hand good. Those are good cards. Put back Delta Tundra. Play the Delta. Attack, and pass. The Orc charges the Staff and kills the Pile Driver. What their last 2 cards in hand now are going to be really important. They played land number 5. Rabblemaster. All right. I'm going to let Rabblemaster resolve. Pile Driver attacks here. It gets bigger. I'm going to deal 1 to Pile Driver and then trade off with it. I'm going to draw a card with Tundra first. See what I'm working with. Another one of those is great. Block. I take 1, and then Rabblemaster is chilling over there. That's a good one. Okay. Another Bowmaster, kill, Goblin token, draw a card now. I do like that Tamiyo, but I like Hydroblast more. Just going to make sure I don't die. That's my job. 5 in the pool. Please cast Fury, please cast Fury. Shatter Skull Smashing. Counter target spell if it's red. I will shatter your skull. The token has to attack. Rabblemaster can attack. I will trade off. Don't want to let them get too much ahead here. Too much material. Okay, Tamiyo, cast Brainstorm. Sick. Basically, the dream here. Put back Tamiyo and Plow. Do I... Yeah, I think Tamiyo, Plow go back. Plus Underground Sea, Staff of the Storyteller, charge both staves. And I am not going to attack this turn. Leave the squad back on D, because I think if I untap with this situation, it would be hard to lose. So I have to make sure I don't get cheesed by some big haste idiot right now. Goblin Matron. Okay, does this deck go up to Muxus? Are we going to see Ringleader? Do they have, like, Sharpshooter that could counter my board? It does go up to Muxus. Fun. Okay, they have to attack with a 0 power creature this turn. I will eat that. Block. I'm going to draw for Staff, which is Swords to Plowshares. We knew that was there. And I'm going to draw from my other Staff before I make any decisions. I'm going to return Hydroblast to my hand. Keep this Muxus off my back. And attack with my flyers. If they play Cavern of Souls right now, that would be pretty miserable. Any other draw in their deck I don't care about. They started moving to combat. I'm going to exile the Rabblemaster before we get there. The 3rd Tamiyo. Attack. Unfortunately, this clue doesn't turn on the staves. That would just be too easy for me, wouldn't it? Meticulous Archive. Put that in. Another Hydroblast on top. Pass the turn. I'm worried about Cavern of Souls and nothing else. Opponent's had enough. Cool. Okay, so they do go all the way up to Muxus. Consigned Memory is good against Muxus and Ringleader. I don't want 4, that's for sure, but is there room for 1 or 2? Is that something I want to be doing? Might be better than Spell Pierce. It's blue either way for Force of Will, but Consign can actually affect Goblin cards where Spell Pierce can't. Thoughtseize pretty tempting, but I didn't have it on the play. I probably don't want it on the draw. Okay, I'm going in like this. Value down. All I can do is outgrind them. This opening hand is really good. I'm going to keep it. They also kept 7, though. Okay, Chalice of the Void revealed. Haven't had to play against that one yet. I'm not worried about it at the moment. I did board out my Teferis, though, and it will eventually matter. Oh, now I'm really worried. Shit. This was the perfect start. All right, here's this heavy squad master guy. I fetch Meticulous Archive. Swords to Plowshares. So, Consigned to Memory, if the game goes long enough, can unlock Swords to Plowshares through the Chalice. But I don't know that the game's going to go that long. Drew another plow anyway. Always had it. Yeah, I'm going to need to use Bowmasters to tread water until Supreme Verdict gets in, and then hope that that's even good enough by the time it hits. Yikes. Rabblemaster, Born with Haste. Okay, here we go. I'm going to fetch Underground Sea. Play Bowmaster. Deal 1 to Rabblemaster. Block Rabblemaster. Leave Bowmaster in play for a minute. I am Swords to Plowshares flooded. Staff of the Storyteller is a blocker and a card draw, just trying to get to the Supreme Verdict. Okay, whenever one of our opponent loses life during your turn. Okay, so if I fetch now, it's not their turn. I'm going to get Tundra and hope for the best. I'm still going to lose life, but at least they won't have this tap Gaia's Cradle, Brightstone Ritual guy, pre-combat. Chrome Mox. If they shoot their shot, another Chrome Mox with no imprint. Are they building Storm? What's going on? 2 people did that this league. Are they messing with me? I don't understand. Okay. The heavy squad is doing its thing. Bombardier is attacking. Okay. They were just throwing the Chrome Mox. That makes sense. Okay. Crisis averted. I'm going to block the 2/3. And they get to max speed. I'm going to draw a card and hope one of my top 2 cards is an untapped land. So I can Supreme Verdict this board. And then maybe see another day. Bowmaster. Not it. Come on, deck. Supreme Verdict. No! I have reached the point of the game where I can push a Swords to Plowshares through Chalice of the Void. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm at 5. Yeah, I'm just dead. Supreme Verdict, obviously, good here. Yeah, not forcing the Chalice, in retrospect, big mistake, but if they don't have Cavern of Souls, then they don't have the heavy, and then I have the time to get where I'm going. All right, GG's. 4-1, a tragic loss of the trophy in the final round to basically just Rabblemaster Stompy. Every time they print a new Rabblemaster, people revisit that deck, and opponent coming in strong. This deck is sweet, though. Marcus was right. It does have the grinding power. It does keep up with the metagame. It is a lot of fun. It is my style. The mental load is pretty high, just making all these decisions correctly over and over again over what are guaranteed to be long games. In paper, I would be worried about the clock and make sure that you are playing fast and on your opponent about playing fast as well. But this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I knew I would, and it did not disappoint. Claire, thank you for the opportunity to play this deck. Marcus, thank you for making the deck. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.